Welcome to the Scoutcast. I am Ray Hoffman, and today we're talking about something that can set you apart in business, your personal brand. People connect with people, not just companies. Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or freelancer, having a strong personal brand can boost your credibility and trust, help you attract more opportunities, make your marketing more relatable and engaging. Think about your marketing or your brand at a networking event. What do you do at a networking event? You talk eye to eye with people or face to face, whatever you want to say, and you promote yourself. You promote yourself as a reputable, trustworthy person that'll take care of their needs. As a consultant, this is very important for me. And my whole brand is built on the trust factor. You can trust me to know what your numbers look like. You can trust me to know what is out there and the latest and greatest technologies. And you can trust me to drive your business forward. So let's dive into how you can build a powerful, authentic personal brand. First of all, what is personal branding? Your personal brand is the way people perceive you online and offline. It's what comes to mind when someone hears your name. Think about the names out there. When you hear certain brands, you think positive or negative about them. This is personal branding. A great personal brand positions you as an authority in your field, helps you stand out from competitors, builds long-term trust with your audience. Today's political climate is a perfect example of it. Think about who you hear about on a regular basis right now. I'm not going to get into politics. That's not what this whole podcast is about. So, but I am going to use the name Elon Musk. As soon as you see that name, you think positive or negative. Right now, that's even more true. You think positive or negative. You know about the brands that he represents. You know what he owns. Think about Oprah. Again, I'm not going to get into politics, but you think positively or negatively. You think about what she does and how she does it. You think about what she owns and what she doesn't. You think about news stories, positive or negative, depending on which way you feel. That's just a couple of examples about how personal brands drive their business either for success or failure. It really depends on what is out there and how your brand is being represented. So, how do you define your personal brand? To build your personal brand, you start with these 3 simple steps. Define your expertise and niche. Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? I asked myself before I started this company, what do I want to be known for? That's one of the reasons why I scout. What are scouts known for? Talk about a personal brand. What are scouts known for? Now, let's be honest. I named it after my dog. My dog's name is Scout. It's a beautiful dog. Love my dog. And but if you think of the word scout in history, what are scouts known for? Being trustworthy, being honest, and getting things done, no matter the odds. Pick one to 2 core themes. Digital marketing, leadership. My core theme is knowing the numbers. Knowing the numbers and knowing the latest and greatest in technology. That's why I talk about AI a lot. AI is about knowing your numbers, having your numbers in front of you, knowing what's out there and what can be and cannot be done. Identify your target audience. Who do you want to reach? Entrepreneurs, small businesses, and speak directly to them with your content. I want to reach small businesses. A lot of my businesses are in the service industry, within construction or other service industries as well. So you'll hear a lot of my stuff crafted towards small businesses and entrepreneurs. And it's all about making the maximum amount of time efficiency with the time they have. Small businesses, entrepreneurs don't have the money to bring in a marketing person like me. They don't have the ability currently, but they want it. They have a dream. They have a dream of being successful. So my role is to help them get there. So I help them get to a point where they can bring in somebody, and I help them bring in that person. That's why I always say that I am more than just a consultant. I can act as a fractional CMO. Take care of your marketing for you while you concentrate on your business. At the same time, when you get to a point that you can bring in a marketing manager, marketing director, marketing coordinator, or a marketing officer, then I will help you find that person. I will help you hire that person. I will help you train that person, and I will walk away. I will constantly check in with that person because my personality doesn't allow me to just walk away and not help. It's just my personality. I'm here to help. Craft your unique story. Your journey is what makes you relatable. A lot of people know me for companies I worked with in the past. A lot of people know me about my philanthropy and all the philanthropic things I've done in the past. Working with veterans is a deep passion of mine, not only for housing, which I've helped create a local organization to do so. I've also connected people in the veterans industry, veterans world, that have created projects. And my next step is going to be able to help veterans in a more meaningful way on transitioning from their military life to their civilian life. Share your challenges, your wins, and your lessons learned. I learned early on the old statement that 50% of marketing works, 50% of marketing doesn't work. Or I like to use the adage of using a dartboard. Throw things at a dartboard and see what sticks. This is the philosophy behind A/B testing. Testing your marketing, looking at your numbers, deciding what's working, spending more in that category and less in a different category. Knowing how to make those changes and make those moves and when to make those moves is the key to that. And I love teaching people how to do that. So, next, building your online presence. Your online presence is the foundation of your personal brand. Here's how to establish it. Optimize your LinkedIn and website. I'm constantly looking at my website. I'm constantly looking at my LinkedIn. I'm constantly making changes. I'm changing wording. I'm changing wording on both the website and LinkedIn. Also, I have personal brands under Facebook. I have Instagram. So you have to look at those things and constantly optimize for keywords, optimize for who you're going after. Look at your numbers. Look at your demographics that you're attracting with the words you're changing and making changes until you optimize it to a point where you're good. Now, I personally believe there's no such thing. I would rather somebody call me and say, hey, I really need your help, and me say, I'm too busy, I don't have time to take on a new client, but I'll be happy to add you to the list. And someday I'll get there. LinkedIn is the number one platform for professional branding. Now, if you're a B2C, then you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got TikTok, you've got Nextdoor is a big one. You've got all these products, these online products, to promote your brand inside of the B2C world. However, if you're trying to build a personal brand, you need to build it off of LinkedIn. You want to have them recognize your name immediately with the companies you're representing. Having a clear bio that explains who you are and what you do. Leverage social media. Post valuable content related to your industry. A marketing consultant sharing case studies and industry trends is just an example of it. Create video content. This is something I struggle with daily because I've always been the person behind the camera. I've always been the person promoting others. So I do struggle with this daily. But I need to, as well as everybody else, be constantly creating more video content. Short form videos, reels, TikToks, boosting engagement. A business coach sharing a 60-second success tip is an awesome example of this and putting it out on LinkedIn. One of my idols in the industry is Keith Mercurio. Keith Mercurio puts out 15-second, 30-second, 60-second videos about his philosophy on leadership. He is a great guy and he knows what he's talking about. Very successful at it. And he's invited all around the world to talk about leadership and the challenges of leadership and how to be a good leader. I had the honor of having him host an event at one of the companies I worked at. It was a 3-day class on color code and what color code means. If you haven't had a chance, go look up color code. Figure out what color you are. It was very enlightening in leadership. The fact that you're red, blue, yellow, or green, red, blue, yellow, or white, and then what that signifies and how you talk to another person is huge to me. I'm a red. Reds don't do well at the whole, how was your day? How is this? How's that? But if I email to a blue that without the question, how's your day? Or I hope your day is going well, they're going to take offense at whatever I say. It's not me being wrong. It's not them being wrong. It's just a different personality types. And Keith Mercurio taught me that. And he is phenomenal at it. I have not run across anything I disagree with him on yet. So if you get a chance, look him up. Talk about a perfect person for personal branding. Keith Mercurio is outstanding at it. So building a brand isn't about one viral post. It's about showing up consistently. Tips for staying consistent. I have another example of that, actually. There's a gentleman here in Milwaukee. His name is Andy Waynes. He wrote a book. He's very, very good at getting stuff out there many times a day, much less a week. He is promoting his personal brand. I relate him to the company he owns. I relate him to what he does in the industry. I relate him to a lot of different things because he is everywhere. Every time I look at my TikTok, he's on there. Every time I look at my LinkedIn, he's on there. Every time I look at just about anything, he's on there. He's on there promoting himself, talking about leadership, what he learned in the military, how his family business has gone from zero to being one of the largest organizations in Milwaukee, and winning awards along the way for his help within the veteran community, as well as in the community itself. So post 2-3 times a week on key platforms. Engage with comments and DMs. Collaborate with industry leaders to expand your reach. The more consistent and authentic you are, the stronger your brand becomes. So this is just a few things that I wanted to talk about today. And I have another example. Personal branding is one of the cornerstones of why trade shows exist. Company branding, personal branding. You do seminars because you want people to know who you are. You want people to know who your designers are. You want people to know what you do and how you do it and why you feel it's the best way. So in this area, we're just getting over our spring trade show season. We have one in January, we have one in February, and there's actually a trade show going on right now that ends at the end of next weekend. All these people are there to promote their brand and promote themselves. You're talking face-to-face with thousands of consumers. I don't even know what the show brings in anymore, but there's thousands of consumers. I was there last Friday, and it was busy. It was good. Talked to a couple of my counterparts or colleagues within the industry, and they were saying it was very busy. Then I walked by a lot of booths. I actually like going down every aisle just to see what people are doing, see what the newest trend is in trade shows, and to see what how everybody's interacting. And there's some really cool things out there, by the way, now that people are doing I haven't seen in the past. But I'll talk about that on a later podcast. But I walk by and people are, and now this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, okay, on a Friday, day one. The people that are talking to people are the people that are standing up. The people that are sitting down have nobody in their booth. I personally do not believe that a chair should be in a booth. You should not sit down. You should not be looking at people walking by without saying hello. You should be asking them questions like, What brings you to the show? How are you doing today? Is there a project you're working on? Now, this does not mean you stop everybody walking by you. This does not mean you stand in the aisles and guide them to your booth. That is just annoying. However, it does mean to be friendly, be gracious, be nice. Hey, how you doing today? How's the show going for you? Is there a particular project you're working on? Maybe I can guide you in the right direction with a couple of vendors. Offer to help. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're promoting you as much, but when they stop and look and say, I really do need this. This is part of my project. I am doing a bedroom. I'm going to need some blinds. Oh, great. I'll be happy to help you. Why don't we dive in and talk to you about what blinds we cover, what blinds we don't cover, how these can help you, stuff like that. Or they walk by and say, I'm looking to add a garage. Okay, great. Well, I do blinds. So if you're looking at adding a blind stack garage, I'll be happy to help. However, here's some great vendors for you to talk to. Now, what are they thinking? Wow, that's amazing. That person just helped me with my project. And what's going to happen when they say, you know what, I do need blinds in my house. I remember that guy at the show that recommended the guy that did our garage. And I'm going to give him a call. I think he's great. So you have to think of stuff like that, right? Now, be careful who you recommend. That could be a double-edged sword, right? Make sure people that you trust. If you're building your brand properly, you already know the people in that show that you trust. You've already talked to them. You've already got a camaraderie with them. You might be passing leads back and forth already, which is great. So make sure you know who you're recommending. And then if you don't know somebody in that industry, maybe you can look in the guide, have the guide with you and say, you know what, this company really does it. I don't know much about them, but it seems like they have really good reviews online. Maybe talk to them. Great. You just clarified yourself saying that you don't know much about them. You haven't talked to them. However, they do have good reviews online. So you've already done some research for that person. So what's that person going to do? They're going to think of you the next time that they need something that is in your product wheelhouse. So, final takeaways. A strong personal brand builds trust and attracts business. When somebody says your name, it should build a trust in that person. And it's going to make them think of you the next time they need your product. Define your niche, your audience, and story. This is very important. You're going to be asked this numerous times. When was the last time you were asked for your 30-second elevator speech or 60-second elevator speech? When was the last time you were asked to tell me what kind of lead you're looking for? At any networking event, you're going to have that. So know that up front. Practice it. Make it become secondhand. Some of the best branding personality people that I can think of hardly ever mention their company. They mention what they do. They mention how they do it. But think about it. They don't say, I am this. I do this. My company does this. They say, this is how I help people. I help people grow their small business, spending less time at work and more time with their family. That's one of mine. And what are you thinking there? How does he do that? So you're going to inquire. You're going to ask more questions. You're going to find out more about what I'm offering. And that's huge. Show up consistently and provide value-driven content. You need to be in their face, not hypothetically, but you need to be in their face across the digital world and provide value-driven content. Make it worth their while to see your face. Start by optimizing. So an action step for you this week, start by optimizing your LinkedIn bio and posting your first personal branding story this week. I'm going to do the same thing. So please look at my LinkedIn. It is Raymond Hoffman on LinkedIn. Let's connect. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and leave a review. Follow me at scoutconsultingwi.com and go to www.scoutconsultingwi.com to find out more about me. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scoutcast.